We are not so different.
Good morning. Good morning, my We Are Not So Different family. Thank you for choosing to spend yet another time in another riveting episode of We Are Not So Different. This morning's guest, we have Miss Nicole Ingram. How are you, Nicole?
I am Peachy. How are you?
I'm great, fantastic, and terrific. Thank you for asking.
Good. Good
So,
morning.
I am going to give you guys a little bit of background, just a snippet about Miss Nicole, and then we'll get started. So, 2020 brought new changes for everyone and it brought her new visions. Ooh, we like visions. She decided to leave her career in corporate America and do what she loves to create. In Good Tastes offers several food options such as catering for small events, corporate lunches, brunches, weekly food preps, keto and vegan options. Food and flavor is her passion, and she's on the path to temptation for taste buds. I like that part right there. It's like it's like tantalizing the taste buds. Yes, yes. So, ladies and gents, go ahead, grab your favorite drink, whether that's Kool-Aid or Cavassier. Find your favorite spot on the couch and get comfortable and join us in on this conversation. So,
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're aware, Nicole, but each and every show starts off the same. I ask each of
Okay.
my listeners the same two questions from the top, just so we can get a little bit of like insight and in a little peek into Nicole's
Okay.
world. So, question number one: if you had the opportunity to speak to an audience of your choosing, who
Okay.
would said audience be, and what would you tell them?
Okay. Okay. I would choose an audience of anyone with a listening ear.
Okay.
No select audience. Anyone who is willing to listen to what I had to say. I think in this day and age, I don't think you're too old to gain any new knowledge or to pick up something. If you just open your ears a little bit, you might be able to pick up something from someone, you know, whether they be young or old. So anyone who's willing to listen.
All right.
Um, yeah.
Listen up, y'all. Now, what would you tell them people that's listening?
uh, to be open minded and,
Okay.
and be willing, to listen and um, not be so stubborn. You don't know everything. Every day there's new opportunities out there. Just be open to. There's so much out there, so much. The Don't be so narrow minded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Broaden your horizons.
Yes, darling. Oh, broaden them. Yes. Yes.
I like that though, because I think there is more than ever, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a serious gap in understanding, I'll say collaboration,
Mm-hmm.
say, I don't know, from one generation to the next. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
there's this huge gap because, like, when I was little, there were certain things that just were not tolerated. Like, children were just be seen
Correct.
and not heard.
Correct.
You show wasn't cussing in front of your parents or in front of adults, period. I wouldn't even,
Oh,
we wouldn't even allowed to say the word lie. We had to say telling a story.
you can even
Um,
go. No. Yes.
right. No eye rolling, none of that.
No.
Nothing that
No.
assembled some sort of defiance. Like now
No.
it's totally different. Parents,
No.
and some, not all, they desire to be the child's friend and are a lot
Mm-hmm.
more lenient. And then you
Mm-hmm.
hear certain groups. I won't put no association with them. Mom, get out
Adults.
my room.
Yes.
Where?
Adults. I understand. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that you have a desire to, for lack of betterations, collaborate with anyone who is willing to listen, regardless of age, whether it be, older
Right.
or younger, regardless of gender or any of that. Like, you're right. Every day you can learn something, and you don't know it all. And if you do, you're the ones that we talking about right now.
Right. 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 I think it's so important that we have to, I think we, like you said, we are, you would think that we're supposed to just be so stubborn. Um, we can look at our parents and they're very stoic, but we have to learn to change with the times a little bit.
Yeah.
They have this very ironclad fist where, look, it's what I say and that's it.
And don't ask me why.
Right. And to this day, we don't necessarily question that. But, if we look at, I can look at the way I raised my child, and he is 24 years old. So he's not a child anymore. But I had to kind of not be so, because I said so, but more or less kind of be open to listening to what it is he has to say. It's still going to end up being my way, but I still have to give him a chance to express himself.
Right.
I still might have to put him in his head. However, I still have to say, maybe he might have a point. Maybe I'm not always right. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine, and they're step parents. Like, no, give that child a chance to say what they have to say. You still have to punch them in their throat, but give them a chance to express themselves and explain to them why it's that way, because they're getting that feedback from their peers in television. So it's not the same. There's a little bit more feedback nowadays. Before there was no internet, there was none of this other feedback that they have. So you have to be a little bit more expressive nowadays and be open. Yeah. Be open to how we respond to things as well.
Excellent. And I'm total agreement. So listen up, young and old.
There you go. To everything. Everything. There's so much out there. We have to be receptive. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Question number 2. If you had the chance to speak to a younger version of yourself, let's say like 4, 5, 6-year-old.
Oh,
I know, little bitty, Miss Nicole. What do you think that she would need to hear most?
You is smart. You is kind.
You know what? We not doing this. I mean, if that's what you're serious about that, I'm sorry, my bad. But like that part, and what else?
Let me see, 4 or 5. Wow. I think that I had a pretty good upbringing, so I don't want to take anything away from my parents. I think that I would have to say that I was coddled a lot. I think that if nothing else, probably at that age, 4 or 5, maybe a little tougher. No, I don't know, 4 or 5, I need to be tough. I was a little spoiled back and forth.
And that's okay to say that. It's okay.
I toughened up, as I got older. I don't know that at 4 or 5. I think that it's okay. Maybe
pick an age then. If 4 or 5 is not what is your jam spot, what's your sweet spot?
Maybe not to, maybe right around between like 10 and 12, I began to really internalize a lot of things. It was like a tougher age where I really took a lot of things to heart. I was really tough on myself. So maybe just learn to brush things off. Don't be so hard on myself. So I began to look at my peers, and I kind of thought that I was kind of ugly. And I wasn't. It was just something internal. I just didn't feel. So, I wish that I just didn't take things so literal at that time, where, you kind of feel like a little awkward. You just don't fit in. I think that's kind of when girls and boys begin to feel like that tough age. And I think even now to this day, I'm 50, I'm almost 50 years old, but, I'm sure now, with bullying and things like that, it's even harder. So, maybe around that time frame. So just don't take things literal.
Okay. And that could be, not saying like, okay, so just for all y'all listening and watching, I don't necessarily ask that question if like you had a bad childhood or anything like that. Just like to expound upon whatever thoughts you might have now that would be like beneficial to know when you were younger. And I ain't talking about some old Back to the Future type rearrange your past type stuff, but just like ponder upon it. Like even when you were like when you were between 10 and 12, that is a very awkward phase. And if you ain't a light bright, nothing against the light skin, you chicks of the world, but if you ain't a light bright, it could be an even more awkward phase, you know, because I heard a couple of times with your black self and blah 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 blah. If you're not the color of this, so yeah, it could be difficult, and that doesn't mean that your parents didn't love you. You said yourself that you're a spoiled. You could be spoiled and called beautiful, and you is beautiful, you is smart, and all that good stuff. But but then still internalize things like maybe you're comparing yourself to, you know, others or whatever. So I mean, we all have something, and you know, we're not even gonna get started on my childhood, but yes,
yeah,
yes, that part. Okay,
that part.
Cool. So let's jump into the gut stuff.
Okay.
In Good Taste. First of all, I like the name. I want to know how you came up with the name. I want to know what made you want to even start cooking. Is it something that you've always done as a child? Is it something that you kind of grew into? I have 1,000,001 questions, so stop me. Good in Taste. How'd you come up with the name? In Good Taste. I'm sorry.
Okay. First, it was a different name, but I had to change it because somebody else had already taken the name. It was a little bit bougie name, but I don't want to say what the name was.
Okay,
In Good Taste is a little play on my name, N for Nicole. N, Good Taste. So Good Taste for me. I have good taste.
All right.
So it tastes good, good taste. So that's how I came up with that. I got, you know, In Good Taste kind of came about actually as a hobby, believe it or not. Okay. I have my grandmother, my maternal grandmother was a cook. Okay. And she loved to cook, and she used to babysit her grandchildren, and I was probably one of her favorites.
Oh, of course. I don't know if your family is watching, but look, or listening.
You know, I'm just playing. But you know, I used to kind of, you know, be underneath her, of course. And I used to, as I got older, you know, I used to work at Baskin Robbins, so I used to bake a little bit too. So I used to kind of help her out a little bit. You know, I just used to like it, but not terribly, not so much, but I used to take a little bit in here and there. And I think I just kind of picked up a little bit from her. My father was a really good cook. My father had oh my goodness, he used to always be out on the grill, talk about a grill master. He's since passed, and so is my grandmother. But my father was always the type of guy, a little short guy with a big belly. He always had his knife on him, and he was always at the grill. He was the guy that, you know, at the barbecues, hey, T, get that grill going. But he always had our garden, you know, when we moved out to the burbs, always had our garden growing, had our cucumbers and things like that. Telling you now, I do not have not a green thumb in the world. I couldn't, but I love a good vegetable. There's always vegetables in our refrigerator. Always. I would eat the mess out of vegetables. But, you know, I just started to pick up cooking here and there. Now, I was never like a great cook, but enough to get by. Yeah. Just crazy, right? So
yes, because I've had your cooking, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm listening.
This is earlier on, right? So when I got married, you know, I married a military guy. Well, he wasn't in the military when I first married him, but you know, we had moved to the military base. He finally got me to go to Alaska, and you know, being around a bunch of military guys, you know, of course, they're always hungry. So and we lived in Alaska, so it was pretty much, you got to learn how to really survive up there. So I started to put together these meals for these guys, and it was just, look, you make do with what you have, and you go and get it together. And they had, you know, military bases have great commissaries, and you get food really cheap. And I started to, because I was so far away, I started to remember these meals that I had coming up.
Okay.
beans and soups and dressing and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I hadn't really paid that much attention to it, but just from memory, started to remember these flavors that I had. The weirdest thing. Because, I didn't care nothing about no beans when I had to eat them,
Right.
but you don't have that stuff when you're away from it. Then you say, oh, wait a minute, I think I got a taste for some beans. Hold on. So I remember I came back home to visit. I made some bean soup for my mom. She was like, "Girl, you make this?" Because I did. I made this bean soup. So this is really, really good. It's like your grandmother would make. So I just started to play around flavors, and the more and more I did it, it just picked up just from memory.
Wow.
No recipes. No, just memory.
I feel
Crazy.
that. So no like official training.
No,
Just get
no.
in.
And just now I've started to get into different culinary skills just to learn the technicality of things.
Mm-hmm.
But everything that I make is just all from memory and just, okay, I think this sauce will go good. Let me try to whip this up. Yeah, just from just building flavors.
So I just want to say to anyone with an ear to hear, I have sampled Miss Nicole's delicious vittles, and I almost want to say this, but I know that my uncle is watching and I don't want to offend him. He makes a mighty fine pound cake. And I had Nicole's pound cake. And I'm going to leave it there just in case Mom watching. I love you with all of my heart.
Wow.
But I'm just going to leave that there. So, good stuff. Like, I can't even like, I wish I could. There's a song by Common. I wish I could give you this feeling. I wish I could. That's how I be feeling when I eat like her food. Like, so what intrigues me the most is, I don't know. I love to cook. And I thought that I was this way because we were raised poor. So we had to find different things to mix. And so I was very creative. And even now, like, and I'll say this till the cows come home, I was the one that created Cheeto chicken. I don't care what nobody say. I literally took the hot Cheetos and I put them in a skillet with some butter and some fresh garlic and made like a sauce and then cooked the chicken in it. And it was delicious. This is before they came out with the Cheeto chicken. So when you're like, I just like take stuff and I mix stuff together, I was like, I get that. Because sometimes I'll literally be like, my mama used to taste the wind and decide what she wanted to cook, but I get that. So when you say like you just take stuff and you mix it and you see, I get it. And I've always been intrigued.
Yeah, but see, I like a little bit of I think about the old cooking, but I like a cleaner cooking because of course coming up there's a lot of butters and salts and just heavy, very dense items. So of course we shouldn't eat that way. Now we have to have a cleaner lifestyle. I know a lot of us have a lot of health issues. I am not a dietitian, but just for me in general, I can't, like I said, I'm about 50. So my body can't tolerate heavy foods like that anymore. So I incorporate a lot of vegetables, a lot of lighter things. So I'm really big on flavors. I use butter and oil and things like that, but I don't like to fry things because number one, it makes your house smell bad. And I don't like the cleanup of it. So if I want some fried foods, I will go out and purchase it, or I'll go to somebody else's house to get it. Now, I won't turn down a customer if they want some fried food, but not to. And I put that disclaimer out there. I don't prefer the fried foods. But I try and cook a little bit lighter. I incorporate a lot of like kale, Brussels sprouts.
I love kale and Brussels sprouts.
Saute, anything kale. Matter of fact, oh my goodness, I can't even keep kale in my refrigerator. I have one client, she buys it by the quarts. I wish I could have gotten her. Oh my goodness, she's Nicole. That kale, make me a quart of kale. I swear, every 2 weeks I have to make her a quart of kale. Oh my goodness. Ooh, and I make it. But it's funny how I've things have just taken off just from a hobby. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? For me, cooking is relaxing. It's very relaxing. And I like for food to look pretty. If I happen to make a meal, um, if I'm doing a dinner for someone, if I happen to do a catered event, um, I like doing a lot of catered events because that's when I get to spotlight and make my dishes look pretty. It's the vision of it. So I took art and advertising years ago. So that's where my passion comes in. That I like for things to just flow, and I like for that pop. You get tantalized by what? Your eyesight first.
Right.
So it's like, oh, and then your smell. Like, oh, if it looks pretty, I know it's gonna taste good. Look at the way it look.
Look at it, glistening.
Right. If I see some crab legs and it's presented pretty, it's like, oh, good gravy. I cannot wait to get into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love for things to look pretty. So yeah.
So when did you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I know this might have been a hobby, but now I have something? Because you say you left corporate America. Like, what did you used to do in corporate America? Whatever it was, I know it's scary to leave this is what I use to provide for myself. And then I'm going to take that leap of faith and put it into what I love to do. What was that like?
It's extremely scary because I was making a very good living doing it. So this is very different. The pandemic brought on a lot of change for people, including myself. So I think that kind of solidified my decision. The pandemic forced me to make some pretty tough choices.
Okay.
It definitely widened my eyes. It pretty much just brought forth what was already there. Okay. It just made me, it pretty much made me make some decisions that were already there, but just made me say, hey, it's right there, girl. Just come on, make that decision right there.
Push the button.
Yeah, do it. So I think that the end of 2020 made me say, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I was pretty firm in saying I'm just not going to work for anyone else anymore. Ooh. Because I know that I can do this. This was a hobby. I'm getting demands every weekend. Every weekend, somebody's asking me to cook for them. And it wasn't necessarily that it was the big events, because of course the pandemic slowed down stuff like that.
Sure.
Hey, can you make this for me? Can you do this? I was like, yeah, let me just, and I kind of set myself up to where I could take a little bit of time off and still be okay. So I said, let me just see what this is going to do for a little bit. Let me just, redo my brain a little bit and see if I can not take on the anxiety of corporate America. Let me just take a break and focus on this for a minute. So then that's what I did. If my heart calls me back to corporate America, maybe. But right now, this is the path that I'm on, and I'm determined to make this work. And so far, it's working.
Yes.
So, I don't plan on looking back. Yeah. So,
yes.
I'm in the habit of surrounding myself with really good people. I have a really good circle of people. I have genuine people that I surround myself with. I'm all about energy. I have a really good circle of sisterhood, of friends. Even in the corporate world, I had some really good, strong mentors along the way. And I can name probably 5 of them along the way. I have some really good friends that I consider to be like sisters. I have plenty of associates, but I have really good friends that are like sisters. But I have some mentors in my career that I can call on them right now, even though I'm not in that field. I can call them up and speak with them, and I will forever be grateful for them in the career, and they know who they are, and I don't feel bad about it. They can even call me up right now and ask me for some food, and I would do it in a heartbeat for them. That's how dear they are to me. So I don't think I will. Never say never. Never say never. But I think I've made some really good bonds and friendships that if I needed something, and that's what it's all about. I don't think you try not to burn bridges. You try to learn along the way and try to have really good people in your corner because you never know when you're going to need somebody. And I try to extend the same thing to them. I always treat people the way I want to be treated. So if indeed something comes along where I need something or if they need something, and if I need to partner up, even in this, like what I do, like, as far as catering, I have a couple of girls that we partner up with. If there's an event that we're doing, I know I can call on them and they can do the decorating for it. Or if they get a decorating gig, if they need a caterer, they know they call on me to partner up on it. So, we play off of each other and we can work together and we work seamlessly together. Like if I'm done with my catering, I can pick up and help them with something. If I need something, if I need, they can pick up and help me with something. And it's unspoken. It's like we just look at each other and we know it's a perfect. It's seamless. It works so good. And those are the girls that are near and dear. Is perfect.
So what is your vision for this thing? Like, I mean, if you're not at liberty to discuss it, but I'm the nosy one. I guess I should have warned you. I'm the one that asked the question. Unless you draw a hard line, I'm going to ask the question. Because it's like you're almost speaking as though you're already there. So I'm like, okay, so this is, I know you mentioned catering. I know you do specialized meal plans because she does keto for me, y'all. Holla, holla. That cheesy chicken, I don't know what you do to it, but if you could, I said it as a joke, but I was serious. Those big old gallons. Yes. I'm sorry, that was loud. And those big old gallon buckets and ice cream, that's what I want. It's so, I don't know what you do to it. My mouth is literally watering right now.
Wow.
Sorry. So, but I digress. What is your vision for In Good Taste? Because like I said, you speak about it as though you're already there. So your mind must be somewhere. You have a vision for it.
I take the visions as I blink. So there are a few things in the works. So we will see what comes of them. Okay. Like I said, I am open to everything. I'm not shutting anything out. I'm open to everything. I am not. I'm open. I'm open. I'm very flexible. Okay. So it's the way you learn and grow.
I was just wondering because, like I said, you speak as though I'm just tasting the air like my mommy used to do. Right. So I have
That's only way you'll grow, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, if it works, and we'll see.
Okay. I know I had a friend on Facebook asking, because she's in New York. She's like, well, does she ship? And do you ship? Is that part of the thing that you're looking for in the future to where
Yes, I am trying to work on a plan to ship. I have a girl in California who's asking about shipping my vegan options. I have people about the pound cakes. So yeah.
Them pound cakes is trouble, y'all. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Nicole. Them pound cakes is trouble. So I'm warning you in advance. I want you to try the pound cake so that way you can say that you tried it, but they're trouble. They're trouble. They're trouble. Like they don't last long. And you find yourself at the end of the night after maybe your fourth piece and wondering, how did I get here? Yeah. And then you find yourself texting people, say, somebody come get this Jezebel out of my kitchen because I'm having a spiritual warfare with this pound cake. There's trouble. You've been warned. So yes, well, I'm not going to say if, when you are able to start shipping, I think you're going to see, I don't know if you're prepared. Like, I think you need to think logistics. I think you need to think team. I think you need to think location, because once you start shipping and people actually taste and see.
There's a lot to take into consideration because I don't think I've had a person yet tell me that the cake has lasted more than 2 days in their household.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, and if you have some vanilla bean ice cream in your house at the same time, it's a done deal.
I've
Um,
never.
You've never what?
I never mixed it with nothing. I just ate it because it was delicious.
Oh, well, okay, well, I'm just a little tip. Get you some vanilla bean ice cream. Oh, yeah, because it won't even. Oh, ooh,
It's gonna be trouble.
yeah,
Trouble.
yeah.
Well, okay. I don't know if I want to taint the taste because I love lemon. So that's the only one I've had. I had the lemon pound cake. And I don't know how you did it. And maybe I was just crazy, but I swear the very first one I got from you, it was still warm. Like, I don't know, did you bake it that morning or what had transpired? But I was like,
I bake them all the same day that you want them is the same day that they are baked.
and that's
so 9 times out of 10, when they are delivered to you, they are still warm. I've never baked the cake the day before, ever.
I texted Robin because I wasn't comfortable just texting you out the blue, but I was like, it's still warm.
Yes, absolutely. When I hand them off, they are still warm. Yes.
Ooh. And I think that's why I ended up with all them slices. With all them slices, I got a little choked up. That's how I ended up with all them slices. I was like, it's still warm, it's fresh and delicious. I'm sorry, Uncle. I'm not gonna say your name. I love you, but I'm just saying.
Okay. And I think that's a little bit of satisfaction for me because when I drive with them in my car, the smell is wafting in my car. So I think that's because it's very hard for me not to come back home and make one for myself.
Listen, I was just about to say, how you ain't 500 pounds? Like, I have tried her salads. I've tried the salmon. I love salmon. My favorite fish, hands down. I have tried the chicken, and I'm telling y'all, this cheesy chicken. I'm sorry. I digress.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed, though, and I will say this. And she also specialized meal plans. I was talking about. So you heard her talking about the vegan. You heard me talking about the keto. It's like, Nicole, I think you need to prepare. I don't know if you've thought about it, and maybe you have. You sound like a very savvy businesswoman, have been in corporate America and all that good stuff. But I feel as though you need to prepare and then prepare to prepare. Like, I don't think you are, and I don't say this in a condescending or any manner like that, but I don't think you're prepared for what is about to transpire with your invitation.
I don't take that as condescending. I think that that is very exciting for you to say. It's also scary for you to say. But I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Because I do need to be prepared. I wish that into existence for myself. I really, really do. So, and I'm not prepared, but I need to be prepared for it.
Yes.
Because I want to remain as flexible as possible because I do realize that that's the only way I can grow. By no means am I a dietitian, but I have taken on these projects. If like you wanted some keto options, so I had to research keto options, and I said, let me see what I can put together for you, and to accommodate.
Is that when Cheesy Chicken was born? Is that when Cheesy Chicken was born?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So, I mean, and I've passed it on to some other clients of mine, and they too, they like it. So and then I have people who like vegan. I have a client who is not a vegan, but he doesn't want any meat options. So he doesn't like plant-based either. But he loves jackfruit, and he pushes me to use jackfruit. And I have come up with so many different jackfruit options for him. And he is a jackfruit
junkie.
He's jackfruit junkie. There you go. Absolutely. And I love playing with jackfruit for him. So when I feature these jackfruit meals for him on my page, a lot of it has to do with him because he's he's crazy about them. And then when I taste them, I was like, oh my goodness, you can't even tell this is jackfruit. I'm eating this stuff because it's a good option for myself as well. So I get to play with these different foods, and it's great. I love soups. So when I'm making these soups, people say, Nicole, why are you eating soup in the summertime? It's hot out. No, I love soup. What are you talking about?
You eat ice cream in the winter?
Hello.
Okay,
hello.
then.
Hello. So, I feed people the way I want to eat. I'm a bit of a food snob. So I'm not going to feed anyone anything that I would not eat myself. Mm-hmm. So you can rest assured that what you're getting is fresh. It is made the exact same day. That's why I require at least 2 days prep time. All the ingredients are bought fresh. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a food snob. So I'm not giving you anything that I would not put in my own mouth. I can't do it.
Yes. So. Whew. Okay. So also, I see you posting a lot about travel. What do you do with travel?
I do travel as well. I am a huge, I really believe that you should not just have one mean of income.
Okay.
If nothing else, I think everyone should have learned from the pandemic that you cannot rely on one source of income.
Okay.
So whether it be real estate, investments, always have another source of income. And I believe Warren Buffett even said something to that effect as well. Don't just rely on that one source, because you don't know when that one is going to go away from you, and then we'll all be sitting around looking crazy. So I also have a side business where it's travel. So top-notch traveling.
Top-notch traveling.
Travel in.
Travel in. Oh, see that in? You got to work that in for the. I'm with you. Okay. All right. I love to travel. Like this last year hurt me because I don't go a year without vacation a couple times. So that last year was tough. And just recently I was able to, sneak out and go a few different places. But I love to travel. So tell me more.
Well, I can even, give you some information about the travel business, where I can even pull you into the travel business, my dear. Yes. Okay. You get some fantastic trips and discounts on for yourself. However, so what I can do is, travel right now is absolutely picking back up. Absolutely. A lot of people, it was slowed down because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So it is a great way. You can take these quick little getaways now. I have some nice featured trips, some good Bali deals right now, Dubai deals that,
I always wanted to go to Dubai. Sorry, I got a little excited there. I've always wanted to go. Okay, sorry.
Listen, right now you can go for about $600.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to tell my best friend, Daylina, we're going to Dubai. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
$600. And, there is you can do little camel rides. You can do Jeep excursions. Yes. Great trips right now. But, there's all sorts of great deals out there right now. You'd be amazed at what is available. And it will pick up even more so. Yeah. All these cruise ships are going to open back up. Flights will, they're not as, they're open, of course. I mean, everybody's flying right now. So the rates are, they're good. But as far as people actually traveling, going to different places, and, Mexico trips are right now super cheap. I'm telling you, you can go anywhere right now for little to nothing. It is remarkable at the rates that people are traveling at right now.
You're speaking my language, Miss Nicole.
Okay.
Speaking my
language. Take advantage of it while you can. Absolutely give me a buzzaroo, and I can hook you up for certain.
Okay. So, as everyone listening should know, April is the month that We Are Not So Different got started. So I'm celebrating all month long. And since we have like one of the masters on the line, I want to give away one of her cakes, her lemon
Oh,
pound cakes. So the first person, I'm not even going to give like a number. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, number 20, number 13. No, the first person that gets at me after listening to this podcast, shoot me, get at my DMs. You know how to contact me. Go to my website, YouTube, wherever you find me, Facebook Messenger, find me and contact me and say, I want a pound cake from In Good Tastes. I want a pound cake from In Good Tastes. Someone gonna win a pound cake.
oh,
And then I'm gonna put y'all whoever gets it, you have to like video your first bite. Oh my gosh, you have to,
oh,
and let the world know. Oh my gosh, yes. So that's what we're gonna do.
yes.
We're gonna give away a pound cake. Somebody's gonna, after I post this, wherever it's posted, the first person that get at me and contact me is gonna get that pound cake for the free. I'll take care of the cost. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
So I want to know, I want you to tell people, where can they find you? Like, where can they ravage their eyes upon? Because you're right, you do have some pretty plate. Now, one thing I can get down, whether it be on the grill or on the stove, but don't ask me to plate. You better look. But your stuff is so pretty and it's tantalizing. And like you said it right. You eat with your eyes first. So where can my
yeah.
people find you? Where can they book orders? How can my people find you? Where you at?
You can find me. You can find me at ngoodtaste@gmail.com. The phone number is 630-729-4528. My name is Nicole. You probably see it right there. Nicole. Here. You can do that, or you can just see my regular email is ncingram72@gmail.com. Those are the more, yeah, any one of those three you can contact me, or just on Facebook, look up Nicole Ingram there as well, or just contact Andrea. She'll get a hold of me as well. So you
No,
got
I will.
you
Yes.
got 4 avenues to get a hold of me, okay? Just reach out to me. My delivery area, I am, every week I try and post a menu. But if you do not see a menu, just shoot me a little message anyway. I am super flexible.
Yes.
All you have to do is ask. If I can't do it, I'll tell you I can't do it. But more than likely, I can do it. I just need a 2-day time frame. I do take special orders, special requests.
I
There
am a
is
witness.
yes. I go as far as south suburbs. I do Chicago. I do catering. I do brunches,
Mm.
lunches, corporate events.
What
I
about
have a wedding.
private chefs? You know how people be like, come to my house and cook for you?
Yes, I come to your home. I do private meals. I do birthdays. I have a wedding I'm doing in June. I do a little bit of everything. So you call me and I work with any budget. You tell me what your budget is. And like I said, just simply ask the questions. A closed mouth does not get fed. So you simply ask me and I will tell you.
Nicole, you need to prepare. And I say that. I need you to go into your prayer closet or whatever it is you do. And I need you to ask about your next steps. I feel like not, and I promise you, I'm not saying this from any other place except for good old love from my heart. Like, I feel like you might be playing with this thing now. Oh, let me see how this thing go. But I think you need to be a little bit more serious and start putting some infrastructures in place to where you won't get slapped over when it arrives.
When it comes, yeah,
Yes.
I've been told that probably the past month and a half, because things have picked up a little bit. So yeah, things are starting to I think with summer coming up and COVID kind of coming to a slower
Yeah.
pace now. I'm starting to see a little bit more movement. So it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, so I'm starting to reach out for delivery drivers and stuff like that. It's like, okay, wait a minute now, hold on.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited for you. And
Yeah.
y'all know by now, I'm not gonna blow smoke up nobody behind. I'm not gonna pump you up. None of that. I'm a straight shooter, no chaser. When I say the girl has the goods, she's got the goods. And so that we can be specific, it's In Good Tastes with an S. Because I don't want y'all to miss out if y'all trying to shoot her an email or trying to find her anywhere. In Good Taste.
Taste.
With an
Yes.
S.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for you.
I'm
Ms.
excited
Nicole.
too. Thank you, girl. You got me turning purple over here. I can't turn pink. Stop it.
Yes. So I want to say, like, I don't want to say, usually I'll be like, let's check back in a year, but I don't think it's going to take a year. I look forward to the time where you're like super, and I don't mean this maliciously, but like overwhelmed with orders. Like, I look forward to that time. I used to tell someone else that I look forward to the time when you're too busy for me. But yeah, like, I'm excited for you, Nicole, for real, in real life.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. And we are going to talk about that traveling because I need to go to Dubai. I'm not even joking.
Well, let's get it going because we can do this. We can absolutely we can do it this year. We can do it next year. We got some good rates. Yeah, let's get you booked because I am
wait
booked.
till next year. I don't want to wait till next year.
Well, we don't have to wait. I'm booked. I'm booked for next year, but we can get you going this year.
Excellent. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off this line here because I have some business to attend to. But I want to thank you guys so much for spending your morning with We Are Not So Different. And Nicole, thank you so much for spending your morning. I know you are a busy lady, so I'm glad I got to sneak in right now in between your orders. Totally looking forward to what God has planned in store for you. And I know it's going to be big. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what he has in store for those who love him. Boom, boom, boom. So y'all, do something nice for yourself this week, ladies and gentlemen. I tell my friend all the time, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Do something nice for yourself. And whoever that one person is that calls me, they're going to get themselves treated to a nice lemon pound cake. Until next week, guys. I love y'all. Deuces.
We are not so different.